Mm-hmm.
Works really well.
A collapsed tunnel. Judging from the size, it could have been a route for Archons.
Don't really want to drop 16 of those things. Okay, we've been in there for sure. Yep, we've been in there. We need to go to the Officer's Gate. What's this thing? Oh, nice.
The officer's gate was guarded by arcs. Access through the loom gate was restricted.
Bam. Perfect. Have all this, and yeah, let's come back. The mysterious destination for the Asylum Keys Watch is now accessible via the loom gate. Let's check out this armor set and see if we want to make it. Cohh, not sure if it's been asked already, but how are you liking the game so far? It's been asked a couple times. So I'm definitely digging the game overall. It is a very cool combination of lots of mechanics I like from other games. It's basically, it's a roguelite ARPG at heart with Monster Hunter style mechanics, some Shadow of the Colossus influence in like how you deal with them. Some Dragon's Dogma 2 like world traversal and looting and things like that. Monster Hunter-y style equipment system and crafting system, but it has this kind of cool sub-out sub-material thing that you can kind of make different sets of armor. It's kind of fun. There's a cold and fire affinity system that makes it so multiple sets is kind of cool. But no, overall, I'm really enjoying it. It's physics-based, which leads to some oddities and makes it feel a little janky sometimes. And then I do have some very... I have some thoughts on the inventory and looting system. But overall, it is very cool and I'm really enjoying it. It's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you can check it out. And right on there. Oh, here we go. Yeah, man. Great. Now we can hurl larger objects. Excellent. Okay. And looking at you... What is this? Oh, we got the new kinetic bow. Ensnaring shot. Interesting. Okay. Oh, we're doing this. Wow. Some serious
Need more feathers.
serious stuff there. Now I wonder if the kinetic bow will make it so, let's see. Enchanted to draw the user's magic to create small bubbles of attractive force that may be detonated, capable of creating several bubbles before detonation. Oh. Okay. Interesting. And then we got this new armor set that has bonus health. That's kind of cool, but it's super heavy. So, yeah, that's more of a defensive set. I want stuff that has bonus damage. I want an offensive set. Bonus health is cool, but I'm hoping we can get something a little more. We found some magic up stuff, which was good. And we found a whole lot of... This is speed set. A speed set all we have now, which I really like. And then we have a couple defensive sets. Currently 2.
After the surge, no one was even sure that anyone inside the Veil survived. Yet, clearly, they've been here in dire straits this entire time. Why didn't they lower the Veil to seek help?
Because they can't, maybe.
Surely a few broken arcs isn't what stopped them.
The Enclave seems to hold never-ending secrets. Who knows what else its leaders were hiding?
Good point.
Maybe they kept the Veil up to withhold their discoveries from powerful enemies.
And their kin. All the weavers they shut out with that Veil. No, that can't be it. These were the greatest weavers of all time. If only... Never mind. It's silly.
Can't help but wonder what life might have been like if they'd lowered the veil.
Not just for them, but for all of us. No matter who you were or where you came from, the Enclave could be your home. After the Surge, Weavers didn't just lose the Enclave. We were outcasts in every nation. Not that I need to tell you that. You sacrificed a lot to become a Weaver. The Veil served as a constant reminder that magic was the source of all the world's problems. A convenient scapegoat for every failed leader. And Weavers were an acceptable casualty. And the Hearthsiders just left it there.
So we need to find out why.
Cool. Hey, MNP, what's up, buddy? Yeah, we're trying some new scheduling stuff. I haven't really, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm saying I'm changing my schedule, but I'm going to be spending this week in February kind of playing with it and seeing what we like to do. Yeah. Haven't decided yet. We're going to see. We're kind of all feeling it out together. Yep. Okay, so we go back to where we were and finish that. Oh, it's flash freeze now? No thanks. We're doing the Archon's Hearth. Let's go. Right now we have a cold set and a fire set, but we don't really have an armor set. Like just straight
Where am
armor.
I?
Might want to do that. Here in a minute.
Underground.
Whoa.
Barrier almost looks like the Veil.
It must be the one Lucia wrote about in her notes.
And the panel looks like our sky.
Whoa.
Anyone know what it is?
No idea.
Oop.
Similar design to a scry, but it looks like it's a permanent installation. Like it interfaces with the room. Could this be the harness?
Must be. It seems like Asylum involves sealing away whatever's beyond this barrier. With this discovery and everything else you found, I should be able to piece together what Asylum actually was.
Okay. I guess we're going back for now. Interesting. Very important. We're good there. Let's talk.
An expected abnormal amount of degradation in the aftermath of the Surge.
Looking over the notes from the Bastion.
Dated almost 40 years ago, contemporaneous with the Surge. The enchanter who created the notes was quite junior. Most people who had actually designed arcs had died in the Surge, it seems.
The best we have is a novice's musings?
The observations appear accurate, and the enchanter was careful not to draw any ill-founded conclusions. But good methodology cannot replace experience. It makes sense now that the Enclave lost control of their own constructs.
Hmm.
The letters were untouched, but the Eye blotted out a lot of information from other documents I collected in the Bastion. Do you think the Enclave's leader was trying to hide the Ark hostility from his own people?
Could be.
I'm not sure how you could hide the fact that constructs taller than a building have gone on a rampage. Still, in times
Not
of
wrong.
crisis, paranoid governments have tried to bury all manner of scandals. And the Enclave certainly seems paranoid.
Okay.
The Ark we followed through the Veil wasn't hostile. Any new ideas on what makes it different?
One possibility is that, since we know the Ark was being smuggled out of the Enclave, its deactivation might have insulated it from the Surge. Another option, according to her notes, Lucia tinkered with its governing schema. That may also have had an impact. We do know our little friend is quite resilient to magic in general. That certainly could have contributed.
Had to order some lunch.
If we could help the Hearthsiders get on their feet, do you think they could regain control of the Arks?
Anyone who knew anything about the Ark's core design is long dead. A particularly innovative enchanter might have some luck with minor malfunctions, but the Arcs aren't simply shut down or stumbling blindly in fields they once farmed. They've become violent, presumably even against their creators, and that won't be solved by something as simple as reapplying their grease.
There's no hope of regaining control.
With enough dedication, time, and research, anything is possible, but it won't be easy. Don't stay your blade just yet.
I guess there's still a lot of arcs smashing in my future.
For the time being, at least. Unfortunate.
Yeah. If we can't use them to farm, they make great scrap.
Relegating the Enclave's premier innovation to scavenged parts isn't a victory we should be celebrating.
It's something.
Okay. Wabbit Hatter says, given you sometimes play different games in the morning and after lunch, are you going to keep that same, or are you going to play just one game for the longer streams? I have no idea yet. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to feel that out. I don't know yet. I certainly could do multiple games, so that is an option. Right now, I don't really have, like... Right now, there's a lot of games I want to play, but I'm kind of doing them serial instead of parallel. So, like, we're playing Tankhead, but that's in the Cozy stream. And then I'm playing this game. We finished Age of Darkness yesterday, so that's done. And we've got KCD 2 in, like, 6 days. So we'll maybe pick, like, 1 or 2 more games to work on over the next few days. But I'm not really going to want to, like, start big playthroughs before then. Yeah. We could check out, like, Darkest Dungeon, DLC, and, you know, fun stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to read all this because this seems important. It is well documented that the cross made of the Surge was catastrophic. However, primary documents found within the Bastion are the first to shed light on what those impacts may have been behind the Enclave's veil. The minutes of a war room meeting among the Enclave's highest-ranking military officials dated in 1020 indicate that following the Surge, casualties plateaued for a while before beginning to rise again sometime around 1015. 5 years later, at the time of the aforementioned meeting, the casualty rate was high enough that the remaining Weavers were in danger of being overcome entirely. The exact cause of the casualties is inconclusive. It's not difficult to hazard a guess the same natural disasters that ravaged part of the Meta following the Surge would have played a factor in the Hearth Riders' deterioration inside the Veil. Our points explorations comprehensively demonstrate that the Enclave's landscape and settlements have been torn apart by earthquakes, and its extreme weather fluctuations frequently render its environments inhospitable. In addition, the danger of all creatures clearly intensified the longer they were exposed to raw magic in the wake of the Surge. These varied threats would undoubtedly result in casualties within a long-suffering population. In addition to this, a research paper was found within a military workshop for enchanters, dated in 1010 and titled Observing Arc Degradation. This paper raises another theory, that perhaps the Arc's hostilities had contributed to the survivors' rise in casualties. Initially, our band had pondered the question of whether the Arc's hostility was an act of defense from the surviving Weavers there. This paper proves otherwise. It would appear that there was an expected and normal amount of behavioral degradation, according to the Enclave's head of defensive weaving, Cornelius Trad. However, over the course of the following 10 years, the Arcs began turning against their own creators until all had become hostile by 1010. Trad believes that something sinister was at play, noting this was far more than a repair malfunction. To summarize, it's difficult to conclude with certainty which of, if any, of these factors are led to the devastating casualties among the survivors. Oh! The Asylum. It's not a place where they sent the survivors. The Asylum is a place where they sent all the mad Arcs. All the Arcs that had gone crazy, maybe. This is in large part due to mass censorship ordered by the Enclave's highest-ranking official, the Eye. Thus, most of the records we have found pertaining to the rise in casualties are heavily redacted. However, in a letter to the Bastion's commander, Karn Stanild, expressed concern that details of their crisis were being leaked to a dissenting group of civilians who might aspire to thwart Asylum. This detail allowed us to tighten the scope of our search significantly. So what was Asylum? We can say with certainty that Asylum was a defensive measure that was enacted in 1026 as a response to the rising casualty rate, and that involved sealing an underground portion of the city behind a magical barrier not dissimilar to the veil surrounding the Enclave. Given that we still have yet to encounter any Hearthsiders, it would be easy to conclude that the surviving population of the Enclave was sealed inside this barrier for safekeeping from the various threats that escalated following the Surge. It's important to note that there's no solid evidence to confirm this. This could be due to the fact that Asylum was a coveted military operation, and this Enclave took care not to document the location of their safe haven. See, this is interesting. I wonder if they're going through the same line of thinking I did. But I feel like you wouldn't call a place where you send survivors asylum. I mean, you could, like asylum from the violence, but I don't know, man. It's, I don't know. This is interesting.
I know we need to discuss the barrier and its potential ties to the flood. But want to give me a rundown of the research first?
Of course. Years after the surge, there was an inexplicable spike in casualties.
You don't think it's due to the arcs going hostile?
Well, that may be part of it, but we can't be certain due to the information blackout. All we know is that it nearly wiped the Hearthsiders out. What seems to have saved them was Asylum's execution. A defensive measure that involved sealing the underground behind a magical barrier.
Almost
Yeah,
like the
yeah, I
Veil.
was thinking about that too.
Exactly like the Veil.
There's like insane asylum, but you can also seek asylum going to another country. So I mean, it could just be that as well. It could just mean like asylum from what's happening. Yeah.
It's got to be where the Hearthsiders went, right? Remember, the letter mentioned they were evacuated from the city.
To an undisclosed location.
Yeah, Ichigo, that's a good
No
point.
real confirmation that they are down there.
But it would make sense, wouldn't it? After all, asylum can mean shelter or safekeeping.
It can also mean prison. I know everyone wants an easy answer to where they went, but something just doesn't add up. You would think there would be at least one document linking Asylum to the evacuation of the city,
You would.
and there simply isn't.
Khan Stanild gave the orders to execute Asylum. Do we know anything else about him?
Judging from the series of letters between him and the commander, it would seem that, at the time, he was recently elected. And judging from the frequency with which he followed up on the commander's progress with Asylum, this defensive measure was a key pillar in his political platform. He seemed to grow increasingly concerned with his popularity among civilians in the most recent letters.
Ugh. Isn't that kind of slimy?
Yeah, politics.
Leveraging a security crisis to consolidate political influence. Yes, it's incredibly slimy and effective.
And the commander? Do we know what happened to him?
It would appear that Asylum was executed successfully, so perhaps he is still alive. But until we find the Hearthsiders, we can't know for sure.
So the Enclave didn't just hide information from the rest of the Mater, but their own people as well.
Judging from the secrecy and a few of the letters you found, I would guess that high-level officials were paranoid. Clearly, not everyone was in favor of this measure, and some might have wished to thwart it.
People like Lucia.
And a dissenting group known as the Verdant Minds that she had ties to. Though it's entirely unclear what
Why would
those
they want to
ties
thwart
were.
an escape plan?
You said the casualties spiked long after the surge. Can you elaborate on what might have caused this?
This is truly
I wonder if they
the thousand
abandoned
fairer
their
question.
bodies or something.
With the information blackout, I can't find a concrete link to the cause across hundreds of pages. Arc hostility could certainly be a factor. Clearly, numerous weavers were killed by their own defenses. The recorded minutes from other meetings in the war room illustrate a long period of geological instability following the surge as well. Aftershocks and earthquakes, and, well, not to mention the outskirts grew more dangerous each year as the creatures were allowed to breed unculled. But these threats seemed to plateau in the early years after the surge. There is no mention of the spike that resurfaced and prompted Asylum.
That's so strange.
It is.
So, back to the barrier. Think it's the one Lucia was trying to take down?
Yes, the very same. She was right, too. It's causing the miasma floods. The raw magic that off-gasses from the Veil is what causes the tangles to cluster at its base. In speaking with Darm, we theorized that this second barrier could potentially be doing the same thing, except in a more pressurized environment, like, say, within a barrier of kinetic magic.
We don't get small pockets of raw magic like tangles. We get floods of it.
Precisely.
So we need to remove Asylum's barrier to stop the flood.
Uh-oh.
Lucia's thimble could undo the barrier, but we don't have the parts to build it yet.
Those parts just became essential.
Okay. One second. Great. All right. Recover samples. Oh, that's the cipher. And we're going to do supply run. Halopyre rise in Upper Denevrian. Okay. Cool. I don't think we have enough to make like a good armor set. Let's see. If I did want to make... Our highest armor, is it points? Oh, it's Hearthguard. Bonus armor. Let's try this. Let's see what the best... Oh, wow. Look at that. Jeez. Let's make the highest armor set we can. Okay. Oh, I think... Do we already have one of these? What Hearthguard do we already have? I think we already have one piece. Okay. Yeah, we got Hearthguard Arc Plate. There we go. Okay, we need gloves and boots. Ooh. This is actually really good. Okay. Yep, that was fine. Oh. We need Hearthguard. Where do we get Hearthguard, chat? We need to go get more Hearthguard. Oh, wait, I was in Reforging. Hold on. I was not in Crafting. Yerp. Oh. Still don't have it. Alright, we're missing a Hearthguard somewhere. And we'll need to go find it. Okay. So where, let's see. 5 of 5, 6 of 6. Probably here. Let's find this one. Probably this one. Oh. Little Sophie's boofing. She's dreaming. Yep. Colors aren't matching? I know. We'll have to see if we can fix that later. The colors are based on the materials you use for the stuff. So we have to farm some more materials. I don't know how I feel about this bow, because it just does the exact same thing this does. As a special effect. That seems kind of useless, to be honest. I think I'd just rather use the spell and then use the fire from the fire bow to light it on fire. Yeah. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I think we'll go back to the fire bow. Is it here? No. Try it like this. Yeah. All right, now we need to find an object and tilt it, and then run at it and jump. It worked great last time we did it, so let's do that again. I don't know if I can, like, are we supposed to, is this? Maybe I can do more? Let's see.
I've got you.
Okay. That wasn't right. Can we keep bridging? It didn't, not easily. No. Maybe there's another way we can get to it. I don't think we can go along the route. Maybe we can get down to the ground part on the bottom? Oh, Strippin's playing Atomic Heart? That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
The kinetic bow can put a bunch of bubbles down and then detonate them at will compared to the spell.
Yeah, the spell, you have to kind of look at them before you blow them up. I don't know if that's worth it. But, yeah. Oh. Okay, so if I look at the very edge, and I just hold it, it just makes a giant ball of ice in front of me. Okay. So if I look at the very edge and I kind of go up as I do it, that does this. Oh my god!
I'm pulling you. Brace for it.
Okay. What about the big ice block on the left? Yeah. Have I found the Connect two-hander? I have, but I don't think the Connect two-hander moves you forward too much. If we could glide or something, maybe, but... Ice is slippery? It is. Turns out ice is slippery. Let's see if we can... Let's work on this over an area that's not, like, death. I don't even know if that exists. Oh my god, 1 second. One second, friendos. I will be right back. Apparently my food is here and my little tiny dog is outside, so I'll be 1 second. Mods, you know what to do. Then we'll figure this out. 1 second.